I'm here, Nuxa, with you. I'm excited. I'm ready to watch some games. I'm keen. We're what is this? A week, 2 weeks now into season one. So I'm keen to see from our last cast, see how the meta, at least in OCE and these scrims, how it's shaping up, how the picks are coming through. I have heard some rumblings on some social media that Storm has a pretty crazy win rate in ranked right now. Don't know if that's going to translate over, but she has like a near 60% win rate, which if you know anything about hero or champion or god win rates, that's pretty crazy. Like 51% is pretty strong. She has like a 56, 57% win rate in all ranks. That's absurd.
Yeah, and now just like you said, after sort of that 2-week period, 2-week period that we're jumping in here, we've got a bit more time to allow these rank grinders to get themselves more in line, flesh out this meta, see what they feel is going to be the best options here. So tonight we're running week 1 of our fortnightly tournament. So it's every Friday that we're running these, but today is going to be the first sort of bracket and losers brackets that get run, and then semifinals. Yeah, first half, and then semifinals and finals. That'll get played next week. We'll catch them live, and we'll see who our winners are there. But tonight we've got Aquamarine versus Nexus is who we're going to be watching for round 1. We've seen Aquamarine before. We saw them, I believe, last week.
Yeah, we did. We did see them last week. Just getting familiar with the rosters over here. Yeah, we saw. They did pretty well. I think, if I'm correct, that we are starting on looks like Empire of Night Midtown again. Could be wrong. That could get changed, but right now in the lobby that I can see, that would be really cool. Really exciting to see that map more. I'm hoping. Last week we didn't see too many crazy change ups from like I said, there was no Storm, there was no Reed, there was Invisible Woman there, but no Venom, even though he got a buff. I'm not saying that necessarily that's what they should be playing, but yeah, I'm keen to see if that has changed. It's been some time now. People have had hopefully a chance to play some stuff in ranked, play some stuff in other scrims, or at least just talk amongst each other about what they want to play. I've also heard that a triple support has been quite the terror in high elo, especially in EU and NA. So maybe we'll see some of that too.
Yeah, the pressure that you get from, that you receive on the other end of triple healer, if played right and played well, it can be just very, very oppressive. And if you're good enough on these heroes to live and land your shots, the Mantis, the Adam Warlock, like heroes like that, even, getting used to the Sue Storm stuff, displacement, and she can output a fair bit of damage. Do you really need the extra DPS or the extra tank, or however you like to play it? So I'm keen. Last week was scrims. This week we're actually playing towards something. These are the tournament matches, so we've had that week now for people to get settled in, and this is going to be what they feel is the best for what they're picking. So whether we see that kind of mirror matchup again of whoever ends up coming on top, okay, we're just going to play the same thing. That's very traditional with hero shooters, especially with Marvel Rivals. We saw that at the end of the last season's tournament, season 0, with the finalists there with MR Pro and Invincible. But yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very keen. I would like to see some Mr. Fantastic. We didn't see him at all last week. But if Midtown is getting played, I'm so keen for that. First map last week. If it is, it's going to be first map this week. So I think we're going to have a good start to tonight, anyways.
Yeah, I think. I hope that we do. I really like the map. I really like the aesthetic of it. I just think it's pretty. It kind of works. I talked about this last week or last time, didn't we? That it's a unique kind of acting map. It acts uniquely compared to some of the other maps in this game specifically. Also, another thing that we didn't get to see last week, to my recollection at least, we didn't watch all the scrims, but the ones that we did watch, we didn't get to watch the Magneto plus Wanda with those buffs. So maybe, seeing something like that again. Wanda, not the best pick in, high level or at least organized play, just because consistent overtime, low damage doesn't really work out that well in an organized environment, which is why I would be surprised to see Reed. I mean, I think that he's cool and fun. I would love to see it, but the fact that especially against the triple healer comp, that if we are going to be seeing that, I think that he just can't do anything against them. You really need burst one-shot damage, regardless if that's from an ultimate like an Iron Man ult, or whether that's just from a Hela, some fast burst damage. I think that he can't do that at all. He has some control with CC, some protection from his team for his team, sorry, some frontline potential, but I mean, it's not as if this game is lacking in strong frontliners. Like I just said, Magneto, Strange still really strong at the top in my eyes. I mean, the Hulk uh, team up did get nerfed, but I don't think that that's going to be enough to really take him out. I don't think they nerfed what was necessary from that. Maybe we just don't see Iron Man, but yeah, looking at these teams, looks like some people just haven't, I would imagine, just haven't been playing ranked. So that makes sense to me. Nixel, looks like we're getting started.
Midtown will be your map here for the first round tonight for our OCE community tournament that we're running. So exciting. 2 weeks in a row of Midtown first map.
I'm keen.
It challenges people as well. This is the big thing.
Brutal.
It's a new mode for Marvel Rivals, and well, it's a new mode and a new map. So,
well,
like
the new mode is a casual mode. This is still the same competitive mode. It's just a convoy.
Yeah, exactly. We've been seeing the control point to the convoy. Now it's a full convoy the whole way. So you know this is. It's going to be something, like I said, regardless, that's challenging these players, getting used to this new map and sort of how it plays out. You know, there's a whole section of the map where once stuff happens, okay, I can't actually destroy any of the walls, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like Marvel Rivals have given us this taste of something, and now in this map they've pulled it away. But
I really
we're
like
seeing
it.
here the Hulk and Luna bands to start it off with.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Have tournament rules been added? Can we? I haven't checked these. This is tournament bans right now.
Indeed, it is. Yeah. So we've got the Psylocke protect.
I didn't know that
here for defense, and we know Aquamarine love their Psylocke. We saw that all of last week.
Strange protect. So it looks like we're going to be seeing that. I would, with the Hulk ban, I would be expecting Strange Magneto. You know, what I could potentially imagine if we're going to be seeing a triple healer, triple support, triple strategist, that Magneto, Strange, Storm potentially, and then triple support, or even just the Wanda to pair with the Magneto. But Nuxel, Magneto banned. Black Panther also banned. I believe that, Goldfried right now hovering that. So it looks like he's been playing that maybe in scrims. But I'm not going to talk about these picks until they actually get out onto the board. You know, obviously things can change. They're talking about it. That Venom hover gets me a bit excited. But again, not going to talk about it until we're in the game. I'm excited. I'm keen to see this first hold, the first stretch of this push, that opening spawn choke, the opening onto bookstore and the ambulance position on the second half. Some strong holds for defense for sure.
Very interestingly, we're seeing quite a similar conclusion for both teams in terms of their strategist and vanguards pickup here. We've got Cloak and Dagger on both sides. We've got the Rocket Raccoon on both sides, and then Doctor Strange and Groot. Never mind. And now we switch to the Adam Warlock. That's a triple support.
Very nice. I think not gonna. Attack can obviously change until the last minute, but defense set in stone right now. Got the that Rocket Cloak duo. I think with the Luna ban, this is the most healing output in the game at the moment. Cloak just getting buffed, and I think with Magneto being banned, not a lot can one-shot the Cloak through her ult right now. Magneto does quite well into that, especially because she has to stand still for part of her ult if you're able to time it correctly. But look at this opening spawn hold, Nuxel. Just as I was saying, very brutal, hard to get through.
Lots of high ground to play around. Nexus hanging here at the back of this convoy. They just want to push it down, but also not just get left out in the open and take this damage for free. Pushing up forward, Star-Lord's getting the pressure off, but getting a lot of damage taken by Morbid Will. They'll be playing back, and they'll just be playing around this cart. Pushing up, pushing back, pushing up, pushing back. But Morbid will be living for now. Looking for the first pick here. Tim Tam in a box is up forward. Good healing coming out. That's the Cloak and Dagger E's that keep consistently coming out. Doctor Strange getting picked off by Gold Fury to open this up here. Nexus having to fall back. And that's Aquamarine to pick up this up.
One pick doesn't matter. That rocket res just makes the pick non-existent. The rocket ult on top. But with these support comps, there's so much healing coming through. It's so difficult to chew through these comps. No one-shot potential, but a great catch might open up.
One pick down, and that's another, but it's Aquamarine that are going to be picking up all three of these. Doesn't matter now. No more reses. We're still near your spawn point, but we'll be holding this down, and they still have their Rocket Raccoon res.
Yeah, just the commit from the supports. So both rocket ults were used. But crucially, that Cloak and Dagger ult, just with the group walls, completely zoned in, can't escape that area of effect, healing plus damage. Now with the 4 charges.
Oh,
the team
massive Strange ult right down. Morbid Will and Tim Tam in a box. They're picking up a 2-for-1 deal for Tim Tam, but 1 for Morbid Will. That's another res coming out.
Feels bad though, don't you think? Like, you're right in front of your spawn, getting a res off this Psylocke ult right now. Oh my god! That can
come out. She's just one-shotting and getting out of there. She'll just hold her ult.
This is the hold that I was talking about, Nuke. Star-Lord ult, Wolverine on top might have something to say about this opening hold, though.
Reses are around, but Legendary up in the air, getting 2 here. That's the res for the Cloak and Dagger, but they keep picking up more kills. Nexus falling ahead. Mr. Breach has been taken into the backline with the Wolverine, but a good Doctor Strange ult will pick up Hut. 1 down and pushing forward, but anti-heal is on Sup here. He'll be falling back, and Smobu picking up 1 again, and they'll push up this cart.
Alright, they've opened up the first choke. Do they get another fight? Looks like... Oh, Strange Portal is going to get another touch.
Oh, patient is this Psylocke, wanting to get the kill out, but Psylocke ult will be coming out soon. Never mind, good Mantis sedate. Kills going in favor, both teams and a res. It looks like Nexus are holding this out quite well now that they've gotten that res, wanting to push this card out, and they'll be taking this fight in their favor.
I would like to say, Nuxel, have a look at Morbid Will's ult charge. 50%, what does that tell you? That's sedate cancel the Psylocke ult. Perfect. Perfect. From Ness. What a name. Good name. Ness cancelling out the Psylocke ult.
Full
Obviously.
stop Ness, thank you.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Is there like a pause before I have to Ness like that? Like a pause?
Sure.
No, I'm just talking a bit of trash here. Yeah, a great opening push. Took them a bit, but they broke through that hole. Now look at the way that this map plays differently. This high ground, the difference of this map. That can get rewound back, and the high ground can change. Wolverine into the back. Ulting, not going to find anything.
Good heals coming out. Mr. Breach will be picking up the first one onto Gold Fury, but he'll be getting rezzed. Psylocke ult is in the back, picking up Ness. Sorry, full stop Ness. But there'll be a Doctor Strange ult in the back as well. Nexus falling forward. Cafune's able to pick up 1, and that'll be a res onto their Mantis. There's kills everywhere. Everything's happening, but Nexus are the ones that are coming out forward. They're wanting to pick off Morbid Will, stagger it a little bit, and they'll push up this cart.
A res came through for Mr. Breach, I believe. These names, Nuxel, these names. There's Wolverine here. He got rezzed, but not enough. The sup diff, funnily enough, on the Doctor Strange. But opening pick onto the Moon Knight. Goldfrey falling down. Nice.
It's a big walk that you have to take. Smobu's picking up 1. He'll be getting taken down, but he can also res. Doctor Strange in back, falling without his team. And there's that res that we just mentioned as they take cart.
They committed the Rocket ult plus the Star-Lord ult there. Only to get 1. Star-Lord Smoblue falling down. He had his res, but they were able to buy enough space with those 2 ults to push. And now they've got quite a lot of space around that bottom of the choke there. Out of the danger zone. Out onto this last main street. Got 2 more corners realistically to get around Nuxel. This first one, they're around it. And an opening pick. Hut finding. It's a good start.
Smashing the Achilles tendons on that Star-Lord, but a good ult into the backline will be cancelled out by this Mantis ult in return. Goldfree looking up and looking for picks.
Good high ground contention here. That peel.
Oh, what just happened in the backline there? We missed it, but kills are all around. It's actually evened out just slightly, and Nexus have a bit of favor here. It looks like Aquamarine are able to hold them back, but that was a big burst just suddenly.
Yeah, Tim, I think, got 2 with his E there. That cleanse doing so much damage, but yeah, trades across the board. Looks like Aquamarine come out on top. Nexus, it's fine. Resetting. They've still got their Strange Ult and their Strange Portal to look from behind. This is creative. Let's see what this can get done.
Playing the high ground. The res is up. Morbid will be picking out the first one, though. High ground does not matter for this Psylocke. She knows how to do what she does best. And picking up another one on the Adam Warlock. Aquamarine pulling this all forward. And it'll be Nexus finally taking back a kill. They need this so badly. A minute 30 on the clock. Holding this choke point is Aquamarine. Can they do this? Nexus, it's Tinky Winky picking up Tim Tam in a box, and you don't want to see your tank falling. They'll be able to push up just even that slight bit more.
All the map has been reset, so different high grounds to test now. Nuxel ults around about even for this last corner. They're about to be around onto the last straight. This is a hard one to push. A minute on the clock. Maybe 1-2 fights left. Starlord ult's going to start it.
Ella looking for a pick. Wanting the Starlord, but Mantis is the one that's picking this up. Gold Fury taking down the Starlord in the air, but getting resets off. That's 2 kills for him. Make that 3. He's looking for more. Tim Tam in the box will be stealing 2 of them, though. Can he aim for the 6? No, he can't. Massive resets, but his team are taking his kills.
Oh, Nuxel, the portal strat to hopefully buy some time. Are they going to be able to walk through?
Oh, it's too late. It
looks like, yeah, you're right. Too late. Not going to do anything. But they only have 20 seconds to touch. And Sup's taking a lot of damage. They don't have many ults to touch here. More ults are out. The fight's starting.
Wolverine playing with fire, but Mantis in the backline. Cafune's able to pick off this Starlord. Good Doctor Strange ult. Mantis was up, but Mantis is down. Aquamarine holding this line here, taking down Tinky Winky. There's a res up, but it does not matter. Aquamarine playing this overtime so well. There's nothing that Nexus can do. They're holding this line, and it looks like they'll hold it well as the 0 mark ticks over, and we'll switch sides.
Very good hold there. You know, I've said before in previous casts, previous sets that we've watched, that pushing to 3 with 0 time is still good for defense. You still don't feel bad. You're like, okay, I mean, they capped, but they have no time. It was decent attempt from us guys. Now, they didn't even make it the full way. Let's see what Aquamarine have on offense. Are they going to change it up? And I think that Godfrey looks so good on this Winter Soldier. I want him on it every day of the week. These ults, I mean, that Adam Warlock ult was going to go big. I thought, oh, wow, great Adam ult. The team fight's going to get flipped. But no, not at all. Again, armed and dangerous he was indeed, and multiple agains he got. Smoblue hovering the storm there, but choosing not to go with that. Potentially could be a map thing, Nuxel. Maybe even just teams not comfortable with that pick. Maybe it just isn't good outside of solo queue, outside of ranked. But, you know, right now, seeing a lot of this Strange still. Support lineups slightly different, but also much the same. We've seen Cloak before, we've seen Rocket before, we've obviously seen Cloak and Dagger, Mantis, Adam. No Luna, it's banned, but no Invisible Woman. I would say not surprising considering that there's no dive. I think that she's a very utility, protect, heal type of support. But we're opening here. A completely different look so far. Oh, bit of aim diff there. Bad luck, Morbid. Hey, he's shaking it off. That's what you got to do that sometimes. You just got to go, oh man, my bad.
Shake it off, reset, get back into the game, and that's what Morbid will do
They are
right here.
able to storm, Nuxel. Kafun on the storm.
Something blue, something new. That's what we're seeing right here. And it might go off here. Aquamarine want to push this choke point. This is where we saw Nexus get hold a little bit longer. They look like they're having no trouble pushing back Nexus here.
Yeah, they're kind of no
Pushed
contestant
in the back,
right now.
walled off, and Hunt's picking up that KO. That's first blood of this, but he'll be getting rezzed. But the tempo is in favor of Aquamarine.
Yeah, still around this next corner onto the last straight around ambulance right now. This cafe position getting contested from both teams, but I have Agamotto
Picking up everyone, getting stunned. Shield doesn't matter. They're able to get 1 kill. Winter Soldier able to slam down, but not quite getting anything. They're getting pushed back a bit. Tim Tam in the box has fallen, but Morbid Will and Gold Fury are able to pick up one for each of themselves. Kills all around as they're picking up two, actually. Smo Blue was able to take a counter, but doesn't quite matter as they push this card ahead.
That was beautifully played right there by Tim. Just gets the ult first. Look at how far away Sup is from his strange ult. They take control of Cafe on the left, past that ambulance. And now, look at that time, nearly 5 minutes. Again, we see the high ground contestation on this second point. Strange immediately contesting, but taking a lot of poke. Has to fall down. Storm's going to help, though, with this contestation on the high ground group. Wow, overextended. They dropped immediately, Nuxel.
Mr. Brage first to fall, but getting res from this Rocket Raccoon. They're kept in the fight, but Nestus has fallen. Aquamarine pushing forward. Groot ult is up. There's lots of damage, but there's even more healing with this Cloak and Dagger ult. They're pushing forward with kills on the board here. Do you need the aim on Cloak and Dagger? It doesn't matter. We'll take you down. And we still got some ults to play with still.
No need to shake that off. Just hold down left click. It's fine. But Nuxel, I have to feel a bit confused about the good portal to block right there. Well, they're trying to recontest. Hold my point for later. They're behind them.
Behind them, playing around. Storm doesn't realize quite yet, but Smoglu's the one that's falling first. Good Eye of Agamotto. Can they take down Morbid Will? Yes, they can. They need this. She's been pulling up an absolute storm here. Excuse the irony and the play on words. But they'll be able to push towards this capture point.
Nice.
And they'll need this badly. 3 minutes 35 on the clock.
Hard to
We've got time to work with.
Hard to retake this. Both portals are down. We've got some ults in the bag for, or more in favor, much more in favor of Aquamarine, but still not nothing for Nexus coming up on their support ult soon. But Mr. Break off the Groot onto the Winter Soldier to match Goldfried. Can he do what he needs to do? Can he handle the pressure?
Oh, Eye of Agamotto, up and down. Good damage. Tim Tam in a box picking up two, and Cafune is picking up two as well. Pushing down, make that three. Three for each of them, actually. That's 6 down, and that's the capture point.
I love to see the rocket ult being used like that very aggressively and just instantly winning a fight. They managed to assault the Strange, doesn't matter. We're going to pop rocket ult, and now these staggers are going to come through Nuxel. I'm looking at Goldfried. Oh, never mind. Morbid Will in the back.
Oh, playing around the healing point, but Ness is falling down. You are terrified if you are Nexus here. Goldfray and Morbid Will are just running your backline down. Mr. Bragg wanting to get a trade for his team. And the fight is just split, but good pull. Goldfray, can you finish it up?
Ooh,
take a chance, take a bit of time to breathe, and you'll get a kill on your 1v1 counterpart.
Goldfried's on console. He doesn't miss. Doesn't matter. He doesn't need a PC at all. He's, so far, one of OCE's best
good
DPS.
Pull, Tiki Wiki in the back. Doesn't matter, though. Cafune is picking up 3-4! Oh, with the storm ult! Aquamarine going massive! And that's Rocket Raccoon just closing it out here. They have the tempo to work with. Good Adam Warlock res, but Goldfury, he's here with his ult. And there's just so much damage happening on the back of Nexus here. There's nothing that they can do. They need to play back down to their spawn point. But look how much they've pushed up already. Eye of Agamotto right down. And there's nothing that Nexus can do. 1, 2. It doesn't matter. 0.99 meters, and that's game 1 for Aquamarine.
Dominant showing for them. Honestly, their ult usage, their team fighting, their positioning on defense was very, very strong. You really saw in my eyes that second point, the difference between these two teams on positioning and where they choose to take their fights. Nuxel on that second point in the it's Grand Central Station. That's where that is. And they're playing up on the high ground when on defense, Aquamarine is. On defense, Nexus time, they start playing up there. As soon as they get contested, they're a little worried about the cart. They immediately drop down as 5. Groot's too early. He dies off first. Rez is gone. They grouped up on the high ground. They no longer have their positioning. Now the Storm can dominate even more than she was before. I thought the Storm looked really good, actually. They didn't run it on defense, but they did run it on offense to get some more, I'll say, leeway in the fights, a bit more options, mostly in damage boost for some of these poke-centered fights to chew through the support ults. Maybe that's what we need to be seeing. If they're going to be running triple support, just play Rocket and play Storm. Just double up on the damage boost and just kill everybody. Kill them through. But a good showing. I think for both teams, I think there's, things that you aren't super happy with, but you're not unhappy with others if you're Nexus. So I'm keen to go game 2 and, reset. Still got one more on the tank. You need to play 2 more to win. So I'm keen. I'm ready for this next game.
Yeah. I mean, you've got clips of highlight reels of your Aquamarine there. Caffeine going absolutely huge there. Playing it smart, though, and then just going massive right at the end. But yeah, I agree with you. Storm really helping out with the aggression that Aquamarine wanted to put forward into the game when they were playing the offense on that convoy. Defense, they wanted to play a bit more traditional.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we saw. We saw that Groot initially, and then there was a switch back to triple DPS, and it went really big.
I
Not
agree.
obviously the Storm then, but still they held their mark and they didn't let Nexus push to the final point. They didn't let them go to overtime, and they were able to close out the game.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
I think as well, something that I want to highlight for Aquamarine is the way that they, after they cap points, they aren't sitting back and they aren't kind of waiting for the fight to come to them. They're always pushing out so that they can get the better position. I think really on third point, after the third capture, when they got to third point, that's when it really showed me everyone respawned, and that could have been a really bad fight for them. The entire team was up the top of the hill, and they were at the bottom of the hill. And that's a very hard fight to take, especially when you don't really have any flanking heroes available. I mean, sorry, they did have the Psylocke, but other than that, the Storm, you want to be probably with your team using the buff. The Winter Soldier, the same thing. The Strange, the same thing. You don't want to be flanking on those. But instead of kind of playing on the low ground and taking the disadvantage fight, they just send their entire team up the hill, kill them all, push out around the first corner, and by the time you get your next fight, remember that point starts at the bottom of that hill, at the end of Grand Central Station. It's gone all the way up and around the first corner before you even get that second fight. That's something that I really want to see continued from them, and maybe something Nexus can open up to, because I felt like they got stuck on some of those corners, especially in that first point. But yeah, I'm very keen. I believe it's going to be, it's Yggdrasil. This is the domination map, I believe. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Royal Palace. I want to quickly
look.
just on back on what you were saying about Midtown. It's interesting, right? Like in that second CP there, it almost feels like when you go into like that dip there, like just before that, it almost feels like where the CP should be.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
At least in my mind, like it's like when I first started playing that map, it was like, oh, CP done, and then you look up at the bar and you're like, oh, hang on, I got to take it a little bit further.
Have to keep going.
Yeah, and then you got to go down the hill right to the bottom, and you're pushing up. Quite a difficult battle.
Yeah, that one can be really hard, but I think Aquamarine showed us how to do it. Just run at them.
Yeah,
and they ran at them that first point as well. Their defense, they were holding them at their spawn. They were holding Nexus at their spawn for multiple minutes, at least 2 minutes straight. On offense, no, they aren't playing like that. They're sprinting directly out, playing the Storm, playing the high ground, pushing you straight back into Cafe, behind that ambulance position. And they did more damage. Like, what can I say? They got the Strange ult first. They got their Rocket ult. They comboed, and you just fall apart when that happens. It was 20% behind. I think Sup was 20% behind. But Nuxel, we can talk about last game all we want, but we've got the next game starting. So let's lock in for this next one.
We do indeed. And like you said, Royal Palace, Yggdrasil, Domination. I love my Domination maps. I think they're so fun to watch, especially, and especially in high tier. I think there's just, it changes up the traditional play style sometimes, if you want to cook.
Tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
Thinking about domination maps as a tack shooter more, where it's a site that you take, and then when you're trying to fight, you have to retake the site. as opposed to a massive constant brawl that you would typically see in ranked. The Star-Lord and the Starlock both banned, so going to have to be seeing something different from Morbid Will this game. But I think that that's what we see, or what I've been seeing from higher level play in this game, other games essentially, doesn't end up being one massive fight. It's about a retake, rotating around, trying to poke and prod, find the positions, and find an opening to essentially just exec onto site. But Magneto, protected.
And the Doctor Strange. We're getting definitely a more traditional draft here in terms of tanks.
Maybe a
we
Hulk
obviously saw
ban?
the Hulk ban last round, so I wonder if one of the teams choose to pick it up here.
This is telling me Nexus is much more confident.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, there it is. The Nexus is much more confident on the Magneto because they're projecting, and maybe not as comfortable on the other tanks other than the Strange, you know, hopping off the Groot. The Groot didn't look as strong as it could have, in my opinion, with a lot of those close quarters. Morbid Will hovering the Storm, would love to see that, absolutely. But yeah, Mr. Breach, straight onto that Magneto. No Wanda team up as of right now. I'm not going to lie, Nuxel, other than the Rocket, you know, we have seen a bit of Cloak when Luna was banned, but other than this Rocket, the comp from Nexus is kind of exactly the same as last patch. On the other hand, the Storm really... I said this to you previously, Storm Thor Brawl might be peaked. Like, in a meta where Storm is better, where you have the space. I think that Rocket, Cloak, and Dagger has enough healing and utility, to be honest, to keep the Thor aggressive with the damage buff, the healing aura. He loves to fight and brawl on the Cloak and Dagger, like, mist, I guess is what you would call it. But we're starting on archives here. This is a tough one. You two talk quite often about, you know, how hard this point can be for teams. How rough.
Well, there's a very particular way I believe is best to play it, and I don't see it happen as often as I'd like to. And that's when you get the point. You don't want to play on that point. You want to play up. That's not where the choke is anymore. You want to play up at that door where that's the only place that the other team have to walk through. You got things to work with. You have the advantage. Make it work.
Both teams on this high ground, using the Storm to its advantage. Morbid Will finding an opening pick.
Morbid Will showing that he's not just a Psylocke main. He can do other things, and 2 picks will show us that. Caffeine in the back there. He'll be picking up this Doctor Strange, and that's massively opening up this point to capture it first.
I love the Storm Thor. I think it's so aggressive. It allows the Strange to do stuff like this as well. I know that... Oh, no. Can't get through that.
Okay.
Nearly.
Moblu caught out. The Raven's not small enough to fit through that hole.
Why can't I fade through? I'm keen to see how this Thor goes. Nearly has his ult neutral. That is very quick. Support ult coming through as well. Kaifa has rocket ult.
Out down the bridge. Jumping up. He wants to play here. Ult almost coming up, and we've got some support ults to work with, but Morbid Will, again, is the first person to be opening this up. We've got the res again, but Goldfrey is able to get another one for his team. Aquamarine showing the dominance that they had in the last game, and that's Thor ult up, and he is down onto Smoblu. Yet again, he falls, but this time on the Punisher, as we get some support ults to keep up this aggression.
Wow. I've got to say, just wow. I think this is so aggressive and so fast-paced. I know we saw what I would say is a really fun, creative look in the MRC, in the Marvel Rivals Cup Season 0 Asia, with the, you know, the double bubble bond comp that we saw many, many games that couldn't be beaten. And I'm happy to see this brawl fast comp as a bit of a change-up.
It's what I like as well, and domination couldn't be more perfect.
I agree.
But Nexus, they're able to push onto this point, and that's going to be a pick and a res, so they can still play around this and work with it. And the tanks are low. Mr. Brack is killing Caffeine here on the point. It's a res, but Tinky Winky again picking up one. Morbid Will is down, and that's not what Aquamarine want to see. They've picked up this point and are able to get as much percentage as they can now as they hold.
I think, you know, good retake from Nexus. Oh, that's a rough stagger. That is a brutal stagger. Ugh. Retaking aggressively without the rocket could be a big mistake here, Nuxel.
Oh, that's an ult down. Sup, being able to close this out. They got the pick, but maybe they committed too much to this hold.
Maybe, but you are continuing to stagger along. You see Goldfried has to jump off the map so that he isn't staggered again. This is going to be 50% guaranteed before the next touch comes in, and they still have ults to work with. However, Aquamarine now have theirs, and the portal is coming through.
Up and down, they're still around this choke. They're falling down, but Morbid Will is getting a pick onto the backline. Cloak and Dagger down in res, but Godfrey is ulting down to Twinkie Winky and Smoblue. That's 2 DPS down. Can he pick up the third here? You can see the controller turns around, but Caffeine will be able to finish off this tank. That's Magneto down, and so is Ness and Sup. And the trade back of point will be in favor of Aquamarine.
Nuxel, that's first sub map done. There's no touch, even with portal, 90%. Now let's have a look at these ults for the next push. We've got many for Aquamarine. Nexus have some too. We're going to be coming up on the Cloak and Dagger ult, the Namor ult soon. As we take a quick intermission, Bifrost Garden on the next. I think that the speed, the aggression, the pressure that this comp is giving Aquamarine right now is very unmatched, I will say, by Nexus. And I'm very hesitant to understand how do I word this? The lack of wanting to play Storm. Like, that's how, I don't know how else I can put it. The Storm Thor looks really aggressive and looks really strong, and I'm not necessarily saying you have to mirror that too. I love this point, by the way. It's so beautiful. Very fun map. I'm not saying you have to mirror it, but I'm not seeing the answer as of right now from the Namor, from the Punisher. I think that that's what the Brawl wants to be speeding at, wants to be running at. But we'll have a look. Got a Black Panther swap from Goldfried, no longer on that Winter Soldier. Let's see if he can look even better this time.
This is Nexus's chance, though. I believe that the comp that they're trying to play, if there's a map to make it work, it's probably this map. Keep it open, pick it out, and then hold up front and just like run down the damage. But Punisher getting the first pick onto Morbid Will here. They'll be getting res. Almost fell down there, but the healers were good. And they look like they'll be taking first capture on this point. And this is the position that they need to be in. They want to chuck out their damage and deny this aggression on the enemy team. Doctor Strange is just looking past, and he'll be Eye of Agamottica getting 2 kills onto the support. There are trades, but that's only 1 support down for Aquamarine, so they have the heals to work with and get this point back for themselves for the first time here.
Hut surviving there is so crucial to that team fight getting flipped, because if it was a support for support trade, it might not go that way. Ness having their ult available that would have been teamfight winning if he had lived the Strange ult. If he had ulted before it came across, but Nuke were already getting ready for this next fight. Smoblue falling down early. No res, no. Scratch that. Is res, so just an even fight right now. But next pick will be for real.
Ooh, up and down. Morbid Will. Heals are good, but so much damage coming out of the Storm. The Lightning's good. And that'll be Goldfree picking up the first one. But Thor's up and down and picking up 2 for himself. It's 2 for each. Gold Fury and the Thor. And Morbid Will's cleaning it up here, as well as this Black Panther on the Namor. And they'll want to fall back to point and not be caught out.
I'm loving this Thor ult plus Storm combo. Portal is going to be coming in to next to statue behind. Can this Portal get anything done? Or is this near the last fight?
55% on the marker there at the top of the screen. We've got the ults coming out to try and keep people alive. Ness is picking up 1 onto this Thor. Gold Fury's getting a trade onto Twinkie Winky, though. Tinky Winky, sorry. And Tim the Bug. I'm so sorry. Storm ult going big and lots of damage coming out, but Aquamarine are going to be coming out on top here. 75% they've got. Do Nexus get another touch?
I mean, maybe now's the time to change the Storm. You can have a look. Smoblue has changed the Storm to try to get that speed boost back to point. Or Nuke's 85%. It's not looking good. Can they finally break? Can they break for one more time? They need a touch.
Oh, did
Him
they let
in,
him walk
misses!
past? Oh, there's nothing coming out. Magneto good to hold that, but Morbid Will's picking up one onto Tinky Winky yet again. It's a tale as old as ages, as we see here. And that's 2 picks again for Aquamarine. Nexus are falling one by one as we're going into overtime here. There's good damage, but not the players to work with. Tinky Winky is far enough away that this is going to be both maps for Aquamarine, and that'll be game of round 1 in favor of them as well. They'll be pushing into
Wow.
the upper bracket.
They will. I think that was a dominant, utterly dominant performance from them. I think, yeah, I think that I don't want to say the meta read. I don't like saying the meta always when patches coming out all the time. Like, this isn't the best of the best of the best thing you could possibly play, but that read of the metagame at the moment felt much better for Aquamarine than it did for Nexus. Maybe back to the drawing board, have a look at the Storm. Maybe not so much value on this Magneto. Maybe it's just a player diff. Sometimes it is really hard to tell. Support seemed to be, got it down, the Cloak and Dagger, plus this Raccoon. A lot of healing coming through. But, Nuxel, we're going to jump into a 5-minute break shortly, but what are your thoughts on the Thor Storm? Are we pro? Are we happy to see it? We want some more of that? Or maybe just an Aquamarine thing?
I'd like to see more of it. I love the aggression, and especially on domination, and I'm glad that they made it work. Maybe not with the Thor, but I'm glad that they make it work in Midtown with the Storm. I think from what I was seeing in some of the gameplay, I saw a Doctor Strange freely go up and down Eye of Agamotto onto the back line
Yeah.
of Nexus. There wasn't a support ult used. It feels like they could have been taken down before he got down. So, like, hard to say without watching just a point of view of one individual
Yep.
player and seeing exactly from that. It was more of a top down that seemed like, maybe it was just the picks, but I think Aquamarine, as well as the picks, just played it very well. Played to the gaps that they were able to siphon through into Nexus's, the cracks in their armor and their wall that they were trying to hold on some of these points. And they made it work. They made it work on the Psylocke, they made it work on the Storm, and they made it work on the Thor as well. And it was very impressive.